back to Swan Branch today. I'm in the process of trying to do some surveying on my property. I think in a previous video I showed you where I was building a carport and I was just building the concrete pads, but I want to know not just exactly how that's built, but I want to actually survey it so that I know exactly where it's at on the property. So probably a little extra, but if I do it now, I won't have to do it again later. And if I end up having to rotate or shift the building or the carport before I build it, then at least I've already got the information ready. So first off, I got to try to find my control point. There's a control point somewhere behind me, and then there's one farther back down the road there. Let me show you how I got to try to find them. So I had marked up where my survey control point was probably back in early spring, and I had to do this same process, and I marked it up with paint so I would know exactly where it was. And it's just like always, nothing's ever as easy as you think it's going to be. So I've got a little symbol here. That white mark right there just shows that it's along this line off into the grass. And then I did a couple little descriptors there. This says 7 feet, and that's a symbol for a control point or an instrument anyway. I'm not exactly sure where it is. I think it might be 7 feet from the point right there, or it could be 7 feet from the edge of pavement. So I'm going to start by trying to measure over exactly from that paint mark right there. So a lot of surveying is done approximately in the beginning. That way you save some time. But I'm going to start by putting my boot on the back of that point, and then I'm just going to pace over 7 paces. So there's 1, 2, 3, not paces, but steps. 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to assume that it's about right in here. And look at that. I found some flagging. There is, that's a leaf, sorry. That's a piece of flagging. So it should be right in this area. And there it is. So this is just a 60 penny nail driven in flush with the ground. And you can see back when I found it in the spring, I painted it white. So there's the nail. So it wasn't too hard to find as long as you know what the symbols mean, and I just took a guess and found it. So anyway, I'm going to have to go down the road and try to find the other one this same way. I'll go ahead and show you something interesting if you don't know much about surveying, but a lot of surveyors, or the majority of them, use a metal detector that looks like this. It's made by a company called Schonstedt. It's upside down, but and this was a really old one. This is probably, my guess is 25 years old or more, probably closer to 30 years old, and they still make them the exact same way. And they just do a great job at locating iron or anything that gives off a metal field or a magnetic field. Let me show you how it works as you're trying to find a nail or something like that, property corner, things like that. This metal detector only has a couple settings. It has a volume setting and a sensitivity. So I'm going to turn the sensitivity on the second level. It's kind of a shame. I already know exactly where the control point is, but I'll just show you how this reacts. So you just wave it along the ground, and when you get to something that has a magnetic field, it will show you, end up showing you where it's at. I thought I'd let you walk with me. I'll show you what I've marked as we go. Also, here you can see where the old house is. And this mark that I painted here is for a property corner along the road over there. Every property corner, at least in Virginia, is supposed to be monumented with something that's retrievable. And of course, anything that's new is going to have usually a piece of rebar, usually about 2 feet long, driven in flush with the ground. These points right here along the road, that one that I just showed you, was at the end of a curve, and when I get up here to the beginning of the next curve, there'll be another rod that's, shows where the property line for me starts and where the right-of-way for the state ends. Right here's this white mark coming up, and I'll glance up on the hillside and see if I see the rod. There's the white mark that I made, and I don't see it quickly. Oh yeah, right here it is. I have a stake right there that's fallen down. It's rotted. But I need to go ahead and I'm probably going to end up putting like a piece of PVC pipe there just so I can find it real easy. An interesting thing about that is my fence is probably 15 feet away from that point. So I'm actually not using all of my property. Here's the where the other control point is. I got a paint mark on the guardrail and another paint mark right there in the road. Also, the convention here in a lot of places in Virginia for control points, surveyors will use orange and blue flagging tied together. So I know exactly what I'm looking for. The question is can I find it here fairly quickly? I know I can with the metal detector. Ready to look for this control point, and as seems to happen quite a bit, especially surveying, I caught my skin with a briar and started bleeding. Anyway, let me find this. I'm not exactly sure how far it is over here, so we'll just turn the metal detector on, and in order to set up a survey instrument, it probably needs to be about in the middle of this grass strip. Found it right here. It's a little, probably couldn't hear me, but it's a little hard sometimes to find a point that is that has a magnetic field when you're so close to something that has a large magnetic field, and that's the galvanized guardrail. The amount of sensitivity is you don't need very much sensitivity to pick that up. Watch this. So you just touch the guardrail and it's easily found. The problem is that the magnetic field from that overshadows the little small control point. So right here is the control point. It's actually, the grass is not too bad around it. Here's a piece of old flagging and it's really crumbly, but the nail is right here with it. So anyway, it wasn't too hard to find both, but it'd be really hard sometimes without the metal detector. Well, I found my two control points, so that was the first step. I'll go ahead and just end the video here and put that up, so if somebody ever is, researching how to find control points with a metal detector, this might be a video for them to watch. Hey, on your way out, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and watch us as we develop this raw land into our new homestead. See you next time.